Hey friends, good morning and welcome back. Happy 2025. I'm so happy to see you guys here again. My hair is all in my face. I look kind of crazy. It is super early in the morning. I have been up since like 5 a.m. today. Actually, a little bit earlier than that, but just mulling over how to get this year started and how to get things going. So we're going to start it off strong with some kale and some green beans, some cosmos and some echinacea, sunflowers, Mad Hatter peppers. I've got seeds. Let's get them started. So friends, it's been chilly the past couple of days, but today, like, I'm cold, hence the sweater. I mean, it's Florida, so it doesn't get that cold, but for us, it's intense. I've got some seed starting soil. You guys know my trauma with these seeds. I have been trying for so long to get plants to start from seed, and it hasn't worked. We're gonna try it one more time. This time, since it's chilly out, but I'm following like the packages when you're supposed to be planting it, what you're supposed to be doing. So what I'm going to do this time is take the seeds, cover them with plastic wrap, kind of like a greenhouse effect, take them inside into our garage where it's nice and warm, and we're going to leave it in there and see what happens. Fingers crossed. So I have my seed starting tray and some moistened soil. Now this is a Miracle Grow seed starting soil. I know a lot of people make their own. This is just what I could get my hands on. Give me just a second. I need to get gloves on. Better. Okay. So yeah, I've had so much trouble starting seeds in the past that I figure, you know, you've gone through this mess, go through it again. Don't give up. What if I can do it? And like they'll randomly work, but not very well. So we have our tray, it's full, and we're gonna start one at a time. I'm gonna do the kale first. This is a dwarf blue kale. Oh, okay. Whew, I thought I broke it completely. So I'm just going to poke a hole in the center of each of these cells. You know what? I'm going to do it for all of them. Because I'm going to fill this tray, not with kale, but with other things. So work smarter, not harder. Okay. So I'm aiming for 3 seeds per cell. Sometimes you get a little bit more, but that's okay, because we can thin it out later. Okay, so that's 8 cells with kale. I'll cover that after. Okay. Next, we're gonna do echinacea. So I'm gonna do 2 cells with the echinacea. Another name for echinacea is purple coneflower. In case you do see it at the store, it's purple coneflower. Okay, Next is Cosmos. I love Cosmos. They make me happy. Okay. I did 2 of those. Awesome. I'm going to do 2 mammoth sunflowers. And then these last 2 over here, I'm going to do Mad Hatter peppers. So those are the peppers that just don't quit for me, that I have in the boxes up front. They are starting to quit. So we're going to seed those and see what happens. Okay. So in all my extraordinary genius, I was gonna label this like I always do, just like kind of write the name of the seed and put it in there on these little like popsicle sticks. Except I can't do that because I have to wrap this in plastic so that I can create that greenhouse effect. So blue tape to the rescue. I hate plastic wrap. Oh my god, I hate plastic wrap. Plastic wrap sticks to everything but what you need it to stick to. Okay. So it's wrapped, and I put it in the tray where you can water it so it soaks up from the bottom up. Perfect. Okay. Now, I didn't cover the seed pods. Oh my gosh. Slow down. Crazy lady. Crazy lady. Well, no, look, one of these guys came into use. Make sure you cover your seeds because then you're not doing anything. We got it. Oh, hello, Mr. B. Hanging out there? Okay. Okay, that guy made me nervous. In case you don't know, I'm a little bit allergic to bees. He just hung out for a while. That's fine, I love it, they're necessary, but like, and honestly, like, I love bees. I'm like fascinated by bees. But can't do the bee thing. Okay. So I'm just taking the tiniest little piece of blue tape and I'm writing on there with my Sharpie pen what is in each thing. So if I have 2 cells, I'm putting it in between the 2 cells. If I have like these 8 of kale, just right there. And then now here I have sunflower. Here. And the last one was Mad Hatter. Okay. There's like a little fly in there. Go away. Okay, let me show you guys. Right there. That's what we're working at right there. So I'm going to set that aside and let that go. In the meantime, we need to fill these guys up because I'm going to put some green beans in here. Now, I've tried over and over again with the cucumbers on the trellis in the front, and they just don't do it. The pickle worms keep getting them faster than I can get rid of them. So I'm kind of in a bind there. And it's one of those things that we sat down and discussed, my husband and I. What does it cost to buy it organically at the store versus what I'm going through to grow it? Is it worth growing? Some things may be, some things may not. And if I keep trying to grow these cucumbers and keep trying to force it, what's happening is, yeah, I'm not getting good cucumbers. I'm wasting time. I could be growing something else that'll do better in that spot. So why not just grow the stuff that I know is going to do better? And then for the amount of pickles and the amount of cucumber that we eat, it's not something that I mind purchasing at the store, which we'll get into that whole conversation in just a moment. Let me get these green beans in. Gloves, gloves, gloves. And then I'm scrubbing dirt off my hands for an eternity. Gloves. I love having dirt on my hands. I don't know, it feels like I'm gardening right. I know it doesn't matter, but it just feels like you're doing better. So we're doing, it is an heirloom and it is a Kentucky Wonder green bean. This is a pole bean, this is not a bush bean. I've always tried to grow bush beans, but I have that trellis, like I said before. We're gonna try this now, see how it does. We're gonna wrap these also and label them just like we did the other ones. So friends, good morning. It is the next day now. And these guys, I brought them out. See, they have a nice little moisture condensation thing going on there. Hopefully they'll do well. I just wanted to kind of touch a little bit of base. Next morning I've got my coffee. When it comes to the garden, the seeds I'm planting, the plants that I'm starting, I'm thinking about it a little differently. So every year I've kind of planted what you're supposed to plant, right? Like the ideal garden. You need to have cabbage and carrots and broccoli and all these sorts of things. This year I'm thinking about things a little bit differently. Like, what do I eat? What is something that we as a family consume all the time? We eat tomatoes. So I'm planting tomatoes. We eat beets. Well, I don't eat beets, but my husband eats beets. My son eats beets. My mother. Everybody loves them. Onions. I use so many onions on a regular basis that I almost wish I would pull those potatoes and put more onions, to be completely honest with you. But look at these beets, they're beautiful. That's something that we eat a lot of throughout the year. The onions as well. So instead of taking up space, planting something like cabbage, which requires a monstrous amount of space for such a small garden. Cabbage is not something that's ridiculously expensive at the store. It kind of goes back to the same concept as the cucumbers. Is it worth me growing? So since we purchase so little cabbage, we don't really eat sauerkraut every day. Excuse me. We don't, it's not something that I'm cooking constantly. So even if I'm using the cabbage and stuff that I'm buying at the store, it's gonna cost me like $1.50 a head of cabbage, whereas the beets is, last time we checked, was $4 for 3 beets. It makes a difference. So I'm gonna grow the beets, and the day that we want to eat cabbage, I'll pick up some cabbage at the store. Yeah, green beans, that's another thing. I love green beans. I adore green beans. I haven't been able to grow them recently. And that's why we're putting in the investment with the green beans instead of the cucumber. And the pickle worm does not go after the cucumber, does not go after the green beans. It'll go after squash. So maybe squash is out of the question. And to be honest, again, it comes back to the concept. How often am I purchasing that? How often am I cooking that? So we're putting our energy into things that we use every day. That is extremely expensive. So come this next growing season for the beginning of the year, we're growing peppers, lots of them, because we eat a lot of peppers, bell peppers, jalapeno peppers, you name it. We love peppers. And I have plans for a good variety of peppers. Big peppers, long peppers, hot peppers, sweet peppers, peppers. And then sweet potatoes. Because our dog also eats sweet potato, we've gone through the majority of the sweet potatoes that we grow, believe it or not. Yeah, so when the summer rolls around, we'll be planting pepper and sweet potatoes. And now we have this beautiful abundance of beets. We've got these guys going. The strawberries are doing super well. Now they're not giving fruit yet, which is okay because they just kind of solidified in there. And then these were runners that have done really well. They've rooted, so they're almost ready to transplant. I'm just waiting for this cold to kind of pass. And these guys are doing good. That's another runner. So yeah, It's a new mentality for this year. Just like our pineapples are doing really well, so are the banana transplants. These guys, that little guy over there needs a new home. We're going to take care of that this week. But these are things that we didn't think were going to do all that great, and they are. These toads are spectacular. They hold water for a while, as well as the soil. I'm going to try to see if we can get some filming done at that landscaping supply. That would be really great if they would allow me to do that, because I'm going to have to pick up more soil to transplant all of these pineapples. So each one, every time you plant a pineapple, the top of it, right, the pineapple comes out of the center, and you have the other top on top of it. You cut the top, you replant it. But if you leave this, every time the pineapple grows, a sucker grows as well, which is like a little clone of it. So here's a perfect example of that. That is a pineapple plant all on its own. It grew from another pineapple. And it will give a fruit of its own. So typically when you plant a pineapple and you plant the top, it'll take 2 years for it to fruit. With the suckers, they will fruit the following year. So we're planning on potentially, let me take a look, because right around now is when they start putting in the little crown. Let's see if we have. So you'll know, because right in the center, it'll look like another pineapple's growing out. I don't think so. This tree needs transplanting. Well, all of these trees need transplanting, because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individual pineapples in this cluster. And then these two over here, the pineapples need attention. So we'll be doing that. And we were discussing, since they've done so well in these totes and in this corner of the backyard, our conversation kind of has been that I'm going to put effort now into clearing all of this debris and brush, and like using the totes, using the really beautiful compost that we got, and kind of making like a row of pineapples, kind of like a regular garden row, but in containers. I love them. They've worked out really well. I'm really happy with those. I can't possibly recommend them enough. I'll drop a link for them down below. But other than that, friends, I can't wait to get this year started. Right now we're doing great. The beets will be ready to come up in the next like month or so. And nothing but moving forward. I hope you guys had a great holiday season. Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, everything. Hope you had a great holiday. Right now, I'm gonna go inside and finish drinking my coffee. Have a great day, guys. Take care of yourselves and each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Have a great day. Bye.